As a sommelier, one of the questions I get all the time is, where can I find the absolute best Cabernet Sauvignon? And so often, the answer brings us right here, to the gravelly banks of Pauillac.
I just love that quote. It really gets to the heart of what this place is all about. So let's dive in, shall we? We're going to unpack what gives these wines that signature power, that incredible structure, and of course, why collectors will do just about anything to get their hands on a bottle.
Okay, so we're talking about one of the most famous, most revered red wine spots in the entire world. This is a place that's pretty much become shorthand for powerful, super age-worthy, and yeah, let's be honest, very, very expensive wines. 3. Just remember that number. It's the whole key to understanding why Pauillac is such a big deal, because this one tiny area is home to 3 of the 5 original first-growth estates. That's the absolute top of the pyramid in Bordeaux's legendary classification system.
So this classification, right, it was put together way back for the World's Fair in Paris. And really, all it did was make official what everybody in the wine world already knew. It basically said, yep, the wines from these particular estates are the best, and that's why they cost the most. It was a stamp of approval that, amazingly, still holds massive weight today.
So you gotta ask, right? What made those specific places so special? Well, it's not some kind of hocus pocus. The secret, as it so often is in wine, starts right there in the ground. It's all about the terroir.
And when we say the ground, we're talking about these deep mounds of gravel. They call them croupes. You can think of them as the engine room of Pauillac. They are the absolute perfect home for Cabernet Sauvignon, which, by the way, is the undisputed king around here. We're talking about 62% of all the vines planted.
Okay, so here's how it works, and it's actually pretty brilliant. First, the gravel provides amazing drainage. This forces the vine's roots to dig super deep for water, which stresses them out just enough to make them stronger. Then, the stones act like little batteries. They soak up the sun all day and then radiate that heat back at night. This gives that late ripening Cabernet the final push it needs to get perfectly ripe. The result of all this, grapes with really thick skins. And thick skins are the secret sauce for deep color, powerful structure, and those tannins that let the wine age for decades.
All right, so we've got the dirt, right? We know why the foundation is so special. Now let's get to the fun part and see how that foundation gives rise to the legendary estates, the ones every serious collector dreams about. These are the true icons of the region. First up, Chateau Lafite Rothschild. I always think of Lafite as the aristocrat of the group. It's all about elegance, finesse, just pure class. I mean, Thomas Jefferson was a huge fan way back in the day. When you taste it, you get this incredible sense of history, with these beautiful notes of cedar and pencil lead or graphite.
Next, we have Chateau Latour. And if Lafite is the aristocrat, Latour is the heavyweight champion. We're talking pure power. This is a wine with just immense concentration, built to last not just years, but generations. It's muscular, it's focused, and the fact that they're all in on organic and biodynamic farming just shows how dedicated they are to letting that amazing terroir speak for itself.
And that brings us to Mouton Rothschild. Mouton is the artist, the flamboyant one of the trio. It's known for this richer, more opulent style. And of course, there's the famous label. A different artist designs it every single year, making the bottle itself a collector's item. Plus, Mouton has this amazing story. It's the only estate to ever fight its way up and get promoted to first growth status, which finally happened in 1973. Talk about persistence.
Okay, so let's say you get your hands on a bottle. What should you expect when you actually pour it in the glass? Let's talk about the classic Pauillac profile, the aromas and flavors that really make it sing.
So the first thing you'll probably notice is that intense dark fruit, almost always cassis or black currant. That's the backbone. But then the magic happens. You get these layers of other things. That graphite or pencil lead note, that's the gravel soils talking directly to you. Then you'll find cedar, tobacco leaf, maybe a little hint of mint or violets. It's this gorgeous dance between rich fruit and savory, earthy notes that just screams Pauillac.
And this is where the real magic comes in, especially for collectors. Because if you have the patience to cellar these wines, they undergo this incredible transformation. That powerful fruit character starts to fade into the background, and all these amazing new aromas emerge. We call them tertiary aromas. We're talking cigar box, dried mushrooms, exotic spices like cloves. The wine literally evolves from a powerhouse into something incredibly complex and elegant. All right, let's get practical. You're convinced you want some in your cellar.
how do you actually go about collecting these, let's face it, pretty formidable wines?
Okay, rule number 1, and this is non-negotiable: patience. You absolutely have to be patient. These wines are packed with so much tannin and structure in their youth, they really need time to chill out and integrate. I mean, if you're going to open a bottle that's under 10 years old, please do yourself a favor and decant it for a good 2 hours, at least. So think of it like this. Here's a rough roadmap for your cellar. For the first, say, 8 years, the wine is a teenager, all bold fruit and punchy tannins. Then, from about 8 to 15 years, it enters its first sweet spot. The tannins start to relax, and those secondary notes like tobacco and cedar start to come out and play. But the real payoff, 15 years and beyond, that's when the magic really happens, when you get that silky texture and all those incredible mature flavors.
But I hear you. What if you don't want to wait 15+ years, or, spend a mortgage payment on a single bottle? Well, there is a fantastic, really smart way to get in on the action, and that's by looking at what we call second wines.
So, checking out second wines, think names like Caruades de la Fide or Réserve de la Comtesse, is just a brilliant strategy. You get a real taste of the chateau's DNA, that house style, but for a fraction of the price. And the best part? They're designed to be enjoyed much sooner. It's like getting a beautiful preview of the main event without the huge investment of time or money. So that's really the question you have to ask yourself when you've got that one empty space in your cellar. Are you playing the long game, looking for an investment piece that will transform over decades? Or do you want to taste that Pauillac magic a little sooner? Figuring that out is the first step to building a collection that's really, truly yours.